But the backbone of this shagging organization in the Carolinas and Georgia and Virginia and Tennessee and Florida is the local shag club.
Preservation of shag, beach music, that's what shag clubs and associations all about.
We all recognize each other's clubs, and we're welcomed everywhere we go. It's the friendliest bunch of people you'll ever meet anywhere.
And that's the thing about the Carolina Association of Shag Clubs. We all work together, we all look after each other, we communicate. And that's the whole thing about this whole thing about shag. We're all a bunch of loving people and enjoy getting together.
In the beginning, there were not any organized social shag clubs in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, or most of the 70s. By 1983, there were 13 shag clubs in the Southeast. Those first 13 were made up by nearly 1,500 people. Now, at the time, the drinking age was still 18, therefore there were a great many nightclubs in the area with multiple choices for DJs and bands. Occasionally, a super headliner like Lou Rawls came through. And there were the Beach Music Awards. Number 2 was already underway. Now there are over 90 shag clubs, nearly 12,000 members and growing. So why social shag clubs? I think SOS was part inspiration for the social shag clubs, but let's see what others think about this. We have the opinions of a great many of the shag clubs. Hello everybody, I'm Fessa John Hook, and on this week's Shag News Network show, we have the Charlotte Shag Club's Summer Fun Festival, Boogie and Bogey in the Pines, the CSRA Line Dance Team, and a walk down memory lane, and more. And this time more means more than I've actually said so far. Well, we've established there are 90-some shag clubs. Now one of them, the Sandhills Shag Club in Rockingham, recently put on a Boogie and Bogey in the Pines. That's Southern Pines. It was a great weekend with a great lineup of DJs. Now this is the bogey portion, but I hate it when golf announcers whisper, let's get some boogie into this bogey. Watch out for that shot there. Be careful, there's a bird flying over your head. There's a small animal, look out, be careful. Note the swat, the twist, the half pivot. That's how you can tell it's Boogie and Bogey weekend. These are all warm-ups for the boogie a little later that night in the Southern Pines Elk Club. The Sandhills Shag Club had a great weekend. We're going to talk with them about it, though. Here's more about the boogie and the bogey with James Bettifield and Wormy Dabbs at the Sandhills Shag Club Boogie.
This is our first annual Boogie and Bogey, and last night over at the Elks Club we had Kebo Davis and who was Roger Holcomb. Yeah, and we had plenty of food and plenty to drink, and we'd like to have some more people out tonight. I think we probably had about 120 last night, but that, considering the weather, it wasn't a real bad turnout, you know.
This afternoon they had while we were playing golf, I think a lot of the girls and a lot of people that didn't play golf went over to Days Inn, which was kind of a center for everybody, where everybody's staying, and they had a pool party over there, so we're kind of getting ready to go back over there and see what's going on there too.
This is our first Boogie and Bogey of the Pines. It's something that we had a brainstorm on a while back, and we've tried to do it, and we're hoping that it's going to progress into a big situation down the road for other days. Right now, we don't expect a large crowd, but we're looking for a starting point, and like all clubs, we're trying to start. Sandhills Shag Club wants to get out and have a good time with people, and we're like every other club. You know, the first one's always you don't break even, you have a tough time getting off the ground. That's all we're looking for, is just try to have a good group of people here and have a good just everybody have a good time. And like I said, it's a lot of work, and every president and every shag club that ever gets in the first one has to go through it. We've got some presidents here who have given me advice. I spent a lot of time on the phone talking to several presidents, getting advice, trying to cover all the beginning basics that you do. And that's the thing about the Carolina Association of Shag Clubs. We all work together, we all look after each other, we communicate. And that's the whole thing about this whole thing about shag. We're all a bunch of loving people and enjoy getting together. Really would like for everybody to see the facility by which we're having our main party in. The pool situation is great, but this Elks Club is really, you've got to see it to believe it. It'll handle 600-700 people. We've got roughly a 2,000 plus square foot dance floor. They cater to this kind of situation, and we're not expecting to make any money. We're expecting to break even. If we lose money, we're just looking to try to get a good group of people together, have a good time.
We send our best wishes to the Sandhills Shag Club and to young Josh Imes. Now, Natalie Cole has the first adult contemporary album to knock the headbangers out of the #1 slot in a long, long time. I'm really excited about it because it's so full of shag music.
Unforgettable, that's what you are.
The album is called Unforgettable with Love, Natalie Cole. I wanted to put love in there somewhere because there was a lot of love that went into this project.
On the shag side is Cottage for Sale.
Story is told on the door. A cottage for sale, just a cottage for sale.
We have Memory Lane coming up later in the show. Meanwhile, let's take a look at some more of the unforgettable memories of Natalie Cole.
Someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
It scares me to say this, but if Al the Beach Digger is not dancing, we're going to join him now with a living legend on a trip down memory lane.
I'm one of those rare things that, you know, I'm a non-drinker, so they called me the historian because I was the only one that remembered everything that was going on.
That's good. Somebody's got to remember all this stuff.
I remember as a teenager going to the Park Center, and that was back in the days when you couldn't go to hear the black musicians.
Right.
You'd have to go up on the mezzanine and
Right.
look down,
Right.
and boy, did they have some steps. And we'd go home
and try
them steps.
Right, right.
Boogie Walk. You remember the
Yeah.
Boogie Walk? That's where one of those came from.
That's true.
Though everybody had their own innate style, which we celebrated. I mean, we'd stop and just watch someone just to appreciate their dancing. We never really got into contests like they do today, but they just take the floor and everyone would stand back and just egg them on, you know, and they just do great. Back when we didn't call it the shag, we were fast dancing.
That's right. It was Jitterbug. It was, what was it? It had two or three names.
It was the lazy Jitterbug's what it was.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Lindy was the first thing I ever learned as a small child. You know, one time I had my girlfriend had an Olds 88. You know how big they were?
Oh, yeah.
Well, both of us like 95 pounds. I mean, soaking wet with
Dripping
95
wet.
pounds. And we were getting ready to go to the beach one time, and she goes into the station, I mean, with a straight face. She says, "Let me have 25 cents worth of gas and a road map. I'm going out of town." You know what it took to fill up one of them tanks? They were gas guzzlers. It's funny, but you know, there was so much that went over my head. They called me the Doris Day of the Shag set back then.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I was like this, and they said, "Now, Janet," you know, they roasted me one time. I'm what they call a living legend, okay? And that's kind of a fun group, and they roast you. And they said, when they inducted me into Living Legends, they said, "Now, Janet, there's not a lot you can say about Janet, because Janet ran around with a halo on her head." Janet didn't know what was going on until 30 years later when the first SOS came and they all came back and started telling stories.
That's what I was doing back then, huh?
That's where you were.
Memories. There are great memories, and one place to find them is at the Wax Museum, where we are, in Charlotte. Memories like Otis Williams and the Charms. Or at the Charlotte Coliseum, Ray Charles in concert for just $2 with the Raylettes. Or Roy Brown, the good rockin' tonight man himself. Little Anthony and the Imperials, or Pee Wee Hunt and his Dixieland Band. There's also some great excitement in today's line dancing. Now, it's based on yesterday's memories, like the Madison from the early 1960s, the Stroll from the 50s, or even the 1850s, the Can-Can. Look at the similarity between the Old West Can-Can and today's line dancing with CSRA. Hey, Big E, I want to put that Elvis boogie into my line dance so we can come, let's stroll. By the way, we've got some more big hunka interview with Al the Beach Digger at the Charlotte Shag Club Summer Fun Festival with Donnie Way.
Donnie, tell us what's happening with the Charlotte Shag Club tonight.
Charlotte Shag Club is hosting the Association of the Carolina Shag Club's workshop, summer workshop, in Charlotte.
Oh, what are we doing at this workshop?
At the workshop, we have 58 clubs throughout the Southeast that's formed and converged and everything else on Charlotte and having a wonderful party.
Somebody is organizing.
Well, yeah, we have a very good organized group of people that work on this thing.
All right. Now, work and shag don't seem to go together.
Well, in this part of the world, this time of day, if you have anything to do with shag, you have to work to make it a good time.
All right, tell us about the events that's going on and the things that are happening here.
Well, last night, Friday night, we had a dance that lasted from 7:30 until 1. This morning we started our summer fun workshop with the association with all the shag clubs. Started at 9:30 this morning and lasted till about 3 this afternoon. And we had a pool party this afternoon that started at 1 and lasted until 6. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, we started our luau, which was a Shaggers luau, at the Royce Hotel here in Charlotte. And we just finished feeding everyone, and now everyone's inside having a wonderful time shagging the little lives away.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, that food was good. I got in it pretty deep myself. I understand the Shag Club does some charitable work. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're very proud of our charitable contributions to the community. We are big supporters of MDA, Jerry Lewis Telethon. We have an annual event every year out at Carowinds, the Outlet Square. We part with WBTV-TV, and we're very proud of that. We donated last year somewhere in the neighborhood of $5,000 to the MDA Charlotte contributions.
Well, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good amount. Tell us about why these people got together, these different groups. How did these clubs get together, and then how did they get together in this association? What are you guys trying to do?
Well, the Association of Carolina Shag Clubs is a group of clubs all over the Southeast, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, some in Tennessee and Florida.
People in Virginia don't know how to shag.
Yes, they do. They came to OD and they learned and went back to Virginia, and now they're teaching their fellow friends how to shag.
Well, I went to Virginia Beach back in the 50s, and they didn't look like they were shagging a lot to me.
Well, this ain't the 50s now. This is the 90s. Everybody wants to learn how to shag. We have people all the way to California want to learn how to shag.
I know that's true. I've met them from all over. They love it. They love it.
It's everywhere now. It's everywhere.
What other events have you got planned coming up?
We have a big event in Charlotte the last weekend in September, which is usually our big annual party. This year, the reason we're having this one is we bid on this party last year with the association and was fortunate enough to get it and won it. But we still have our big event in September, and it's going to be held September the 27th, 28th, and 29th at the Shrine Temple out at University Place. So we welcome anybody to come enjoy and learn about the shag. The preservation of shag, beach music, that's what shag clubs and associations all about.
All right, now I got one more question. Where did you first run into shag? Was it Myrtle Beach, Wrightsville Beach, or where?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Good old Charleston. You're not SOB Charleston, are you?
No.
I thought I'd run into some rich folks here.
I just can't see the laundry instructions. I don't know. Slate Foyer is talking with Bob Wood now.
This is Slate Foyer Live. We're from the Carolina Shag Association Summer Festival. I got the president of the Carolina Shag Association, Mr. Bob Wood. Bob, looks like we're having a lot of fun out here this summer.
It's a lot of fun, but I'm looking for a cold, dark bar myself. You know where one is?
A cold, dark bar? Yeah. Have you ever seen a cold, dark bar amongst shaggers?
Sunshine.
Well, you got a lot more to cover up here, don't you?
You didn't have to say that.
Well, just being kind. Y'all been in a lot of meetings today. What are we talking about? What do we can look forward for SOS coming up, Bob?
Well, that was an association meeting, as you know. In that association meeting, we discussed basically the business of the association. We've set up an endowment for charitable contributions.
Can I be a part of it?
You want to be a recipient, right?
I want the old Slate Foyer Indian Relief Fund will be all right.
That's why we've set it up with an endowment. And we've given it into the hands of a professional charitable contribution type company so that we can get the emotional decisions of giving our money away from us. And we'll fund this for the next 10 years at the rate of $10,000 a year. And then that corporation that manages that endowment will be able to give the interest away every year. It's just another way of us giving something back to the communities that we...
Do you think really let's get back to the dance itself and the music, don't you feel like that SOS itself has pretty much been something that's kept this dance alive, brought it more to the forefront where it's slept for a little while, took a sabbatical, as we say?
Well, you know, quite frankly, David, I believe that that the association with the clubs in all the different cities are what really keep it going, because that's what feeds SOS, see? SOS is a catalyst for these folks to come together and have a good time. But the backbone of this shagging organization in the Carolinas and Georgia and Virginia and Tennessee is in Florida is the local shag club.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming to Charlotte. We think it's a great city.
Well, they
to have
voted,
you guys up.
They voted to come back again next year, so we'll be back up here at that time. And as you can see, these folks, they really don't like meetings, you know.
You need to get them to see if they're having a good time.
Have a good time.
How about ask them all the F's if we're having a good time out here? Can you tell them? Oh, we're having a good time.
John, time to wrap the show.
Wrap it up? If you like what you saw today, then next time be here to play. And is this the kind of rap you want? Huh? No? Okay. Coming up in future shows, is this what you like? Do you like this? Coming up in future shows, oh, I feel so serious. In future shows without a rhyme, we're going to have more festivals, more line dancing, more interviews with the bands, more personalities, more memory lane, more, and we're going to explain the difference between surf music and beach music. Because surfers hang 10 on a boogie board. Shaggers boogie on the hard boards. That's one difference. See you next time.
Hi, this is Janice. Remember me? I told you so. I'm working on a new album, a new act, and a new show. We'll see you soon right here on the Shag News Network.